Hey guys, this is Celia Faye Meisel, mindset and marketing coach and Akashic empowerment expert for change makers, high frequency biz owners, and energy workers. And I'm excited to come live in this group today because I've literally just been waiting for the nudges from spirit and attracting the inspiration into my aura so that I could be more present here for everybody. As you'll find online, there's always rules and expectations about how you should market, and my whole model is really kind of stepping into that heart-centered level of marketing, of being consistent with it, but also really finding out what works for you and being authentic. And if you're anything like me, you're super sensitive and you really pick up, you're empathic and energy sensitive, and you pick up on everything online, and you kind of like pick up the energy, and you look online and on Facebook and Instagram and all the platforms, and it's like, if everybody would just be authentic, like there would be such a different vibe online, and it would be so much easier to find who your ideal people are, your ideal audience, your ideal your ideal coaches and mentors. But because there's so much noise and really this vibe and energy of inauthenticity that kind of is at that surface, it can be really annoying to get online. So know that whenever you see me doing a live, whether it's from my biz page or in this group or posting from Instagram, I'm not doing it to create more noise. I'm doing it from a space of authenticity and alignment, and really to provide value and benefit for everybody who tunes in. So with all that said, I just want to talk a little bit about kind of relating to that authenticity online, and talk a little bit about how to create genuine connections. And I actually want to tell you guys this a little bit of a vulnerability and also a big awakening that I recently had, where I noticed some personal mistakes, like big mistakes that I had made. And of course, I don't really believe that there's mistakes, but definitely some energy misalignments that I had done, and I didn't know what I was doing. And so I want to share with you a little bit about that. To kind of like clean up your energy field a little bit. And then I want to talk a little bit about also some of the momentum builders that I've been working with that I notice work really well. So first of all, when we get into the concept of online marketing and creating genuine connections, I support clients who have in-person client-based businesses, and I also support clients globally who have online businesses. So being online and having an online marketing presence is it's an amazing way to build your client practice and to build your business from anywhere in the world. And the tips they're cross-categorical. It doesn't matter if you're online or in person for your practice, your client practice. What matters is that you are presenting an authentic message, and that people can find out more about you easily and start making that decision if they want to work with you. And so that means that when people start to look you up online, that they're able to easily follow a trail of marketing, of messaging that lets them know who you are and what you do. And how that's done is not through sharing other people's content and other people's ideas, but actually taking the time to develop your own voice. So that can be done through blogging, it can be done through Facebook Live videos like this, it can be done through value posts, which is where you write a value piece of content. It can be done through an online newsletter where people sign up and then they get to receive updates from you. So it's important to know kind of like how your audience consumes content. It can also be done through a podcast. So like how people enjoy, your ideal audience enjoys consuming content, but also how you enjoy creating content. So it comes from this level of like, this is what I want, and my authentic message and my genuine connection to my business and my service. And then your ideal clients and customers are naturally attracted to that because they can feel the cohesiveness and the love that's flowing through your marketing. marketing. So that's how you create genuine connections. And it's through just authentic messaging and marketing and really showing up and doing what you love. But where I get started here was about the power of online presence. So think about it back in the day when you were going to be, if you had an in-person business, okay, a spa, a salon, whatever, how did you get your message out there? You had to hire you had to hire a company, you had to hire a designer to like create an image, and then that designer would put your image into like a newspaper or into a magazine. So it would be like print ads. And of course, those still exist, but they're not like they were, from the 20s into the 90s, or even probably early to mid 2000, like 2005, 2010. So you would have to like get your word out there with a print, okay, through print. Or you would have to pay somebody to come and film you, and then you would have a TV commercial. Or you would have to pay for a spot on a commercial on the radio. And even to do all that, you might have to hire people that help you like prepare for that specific thing, okay? And of course, you had like advertising agencies and different things, organizations like that would help people. And so there was a lot of capital involved in starting a business because you had to be able to get your brick and mortar. So oftentimes people would have like family fortunes that they would invest in the business, or they would get bank loans, or anyway, you kind of get the point here. So what I'm saying is that the power of marketing and advertising and getting your message out there, it's not disconnected. What online social media and building your own websites and like all these ways of creating an online presence has put the power into your hands as an individual. You're no longer at the mercy of a large advertising agency or at the mercy of a newspaper. Like, you get to choose where you put your message out there. You get to choose what you're saying and how you're doing it. You get to choose. And you guys, like, I don't know anything more empowering than the power of choice, okay? And that's why I want you to connect in with infinitely empowered, being infinitely empowered. I am infinitely empowered because I want to show you the options that you have. And so what happens as a sensitive and an empathic energy worker, change maker, and high frequency biz owner is that you get lost in overwhelm because you are able to see all the possibilities and all of the options, that it kind of can put you into a paralysis of choice, and it will freak you out and kind of like make you shut down. And I've been there before. So what I want to, I guess, kind of back up here is, that empowerment that you have to create genuine connection through a solid marketing message with your online platforms that you choose is what's going to drive you to have sales and being consistent with the marketing, because you want to connect with your people. Like, when you get lost in that confusion and get lost in that overwhelm, and this is, I guess, kind of leading into some of the personal mistakes that I made along my journey, is the overwhelm and the lack of, feeling like so many choices were shutting down my ability to make a choice. That really stopped me, and it stopped my growth. And having to put myself into a box of who I was and who I served, because I was hiring, people that were more like hard pushing type coaches, because I didn't know how sensitive I was. That's really what kind of slowed down my sales and would cause me to have lower income months. So now that I've learned more about like how energy works and how energy moves at an even more advanced level, and I'm sure my understanding of energy will continue to evolve, I see how we can really kind of like stop the flow with our mindset without even knowing it, because we're aligning to the wrong style. Like, you don't even have to be paying people. You can be following the wrong people's live streams and following the wrong types of coaches because they're spiritual, but they're like more hard. They're more like hard hitting and intense. And that actually repels your ideal clients. Okay, so what happened to me was that because of this, like, even sensitive people and, sort of like the intense coaches are the ones that are really blasting their message. That's kind of like what you start to see first, because like that's getting the most clicks and the most likes and the most comments in your news feed. Following that stuff really would throw off my energy, okay? And so usually those messages are designed to kind of send you into a spiral of doubt and questioning yourself. And of course, when you're in doubt and question and overwhelm, you're not feeling confident to market. So marketing is equated with confidence, and money making and sales are equated with confidence, okay? And that is where my program of Shine Online that I'm releasing is a deal breaker and a game changer. I hope deal breaker is the right word. Because you're breaking deals with the wrong people, energetic deals. But that's where Shine Online is a total different a total different approach to online marketing for my ideal audience, because I discovered that I spent so much time in confusion and doubt, and it would take up so much energy from my day that I knew that the best gift that I could give anybody that ever came to work with me was aligning to their soulful superpower. And for a long time, I would say for a little over a year of my business, I thought that I uncovered people's soulful superpower through doing these Akashic Records readings. And some of my people in this group have had the readings. And so I do these Akashic Records reading. It's, I forgot what it's called. I offer them once a month, but this is like my highest level, most advanced reading. And it takes me like almost 2 hours of my own time to do the reading and do a clearing. And then I do a 21-day prayer, and it's like this whole like energy revamp process. But I thought that my highest gift that I gave my clients was doing this reading, and where they got to find out their divine gift. And so pretty much all of my clients that have worked with me, they know their divine gift. They know their soul group of origin, everything. But as I journeyed more and more, I started to discover that there was so much more. Like, yes, that is an important piece and that will build your confidence. But there are way, way, way other layers of our gifts that really have to do with us kind of like coming into our human self and our human skills that we've learned and acquired, and really being able to build our business around that, because our human self is third dimension. And yes, our higher expressions want to express into this dimensional existence, but at the same time, we can't be so spiritual and so like 5D, 12D that we're not like able to communicate as humans and be really authentic with our presence. I hope that makes sense. So I started to discover that there were answers inside of me that nobody could tell me. There were things that I could only find out the answers and the knowing because of my own expression and my own journey within my inner self. And so in one example, it was my angel work. There was no class that I could ever take that somebody could teach me more than what I knew about the angels on my own experience. And so that's a prime example. So the soulful superpower process, I realized that the best gift that I could give anybody was teaching them how to find out the answer for themselves, was not me delivering in a reading. Like, yeah, the reading helps. And yeah, like that's a part of it, and it helps you and it builds your confidence. But the ultimate confidence is knowing thyself and knowing who you are and what makes you tick and what you're so excited about. Okay? So with all of that said, personal mistake that I made was sort of like looking for the answers outside of myself. And so as a sensitive and as a high frequency biz owner, your best gift is always going to be opportunities to go deeper within yourself. So when you are contemplating, because I find that us sensitives, we like a lot of alone time. We like a lot of time to ourselves because when we work with our clients, it demands so much energy that we need like that restorative process to ourselves. That kind of that reset. We need maybe a little more sleep than others, or we need just more like rest and relaxation or more family time. But I found that when I started to like really spend that alone time contemplating my own gifts, my own soulful superpowers, that my alone time was much more, was filled with much more thoughts of love and sort of attracting more things that would support me, magnetizing more love into my life and more happiness and more joy and less doubt and overwhelm and confusion. So, continuing on with this, there's so many beautiful points that are coming through right now, and I'm just so grateful for them. And if you're watching the replay, I hope you're getting a lot out of this. So there was one mistake, massive, I'm calling it a mistake, that I made that really threw off my energy. And I had been doing it for years and years. So it was like a habitual pattern, probably from childhood, that I did like with physical, like friends and connections. And it followed me into my online journey, and it just got more and more exacerbated. Okay. And I've been working really on this karmic shift, which is module 2 of Shine Online, which the module is called Shine Online. And it's all about like shifting your karma. And so I've been diving deep into this karmic shifting process within myself. And this message started coming up on Facebook a week or two ago about like ambivalent relationships. And it's like people that you don't really like, but you're friends with them anyway. So you're like doing it quote unquote to be nice. And we all know people, like I've had family members, like distant family members, in-laws that they did stuff to be nice to people, and it was like really like crappy. Their being nice came off as like such a jab, and it was like very rude feeling, and like you're not being nice, you're actually kind of being a butthead. So what I was doing is I was using on Facebook, on my personal page, I was using the quote unquote unfollow feature. Okay. And this is like very vulnerable, okay? Like deep into my psyche and consciousness here. So I was using the unfollow feature so that if there was somebody that I was quote unquote friends with, but I didn't agree with what they were publishing on their page, if they were publishing things I didn't want to see, I was unfollowing them. And then I just would be like, I was almost like energetically blocking them. And so a couple weeks ago, this video starts surfacing around, and I start asking myself, like, who are the online people? Because in my personal life, I am very, what's the word? I'm just very conscious of who I take into my inner circle. Like, not that I'm, I'm just very conscious. I have a certain vibe that I carry about myself, and a lot of, I don't like to have like low energy. And so there's like family members I don't talk to, and it's not because I have them like energetically blocked or anything, but they know like we just don't vibe together because I'm on a different plane. They're on a different plane. That's okay. So I started to look at how I was conducting my friends list, and I noticed it was like kind of messing up my energy. And so I started going through my friends list. And at this point, like you can have up to 5,000 friends. I had like around 700. I think I was like right at 700 on my personal page. And I started noticing that I had a lot of coaches and online biz owners who had friend requested me. They never liked anything I shared, and really I never liked anything they shared. And I started so they would friend request me, and I would unfollow them. They would friend request me and I would unfollow them. So it was like I had all of this like kind of like stagnant energy hanging around my Facebook page, my personal page, and I didn't really understand that it was affecting me. So I started going through my friends list and I was like, who is this person? Because of course on Facebook you get a lot of like spammy messages where they're like, you know, it's a guy and it says he's an engineer and he has no friends and he just joined Facebook like a month ago, you know. So those I never accept. But people that were coaches, that we had like a lot of friends in common, things like that, I started, you know, I would accept those friend requests, okay? So around that time, I started to realize how much stuck energy I had. I started to look at the pattern of people that would friend request me and then invite me to like their biz page. No introduction, you know, this is who I am, this is what I do, nice to meet you, blah, blah, blah. None of that. No, not even a professional networking, just very like, you know, kind of throwing stuff at me. And whether their intention was to do that, I don't know, but that's definitely how it came across. So what I did, I went through all of those people and I just read the energy and I unfriended pretty much a lot of people. And I ended up cleaning up about 100 people off of my Facebook friends list. Just of like, I didn't resonate with the message. I wasn't interested in what they were doing. You know, if there's ever a time, Facebook isn't forever, right? Like we could meet at an event in 2 years from now and become besties and easily, you know, unless it's like a block, which I have used the block feature before in certain situations, but like we could become friends again in the future. So I know I'm like dragging this out and making it really long, but it was influencing me. And I had also done this to personal connections, like cousins and aunts and this and that. And I realized, you know, this doesn't make me a very likable person. Like, it's like having the responsibility of having an online business and having an online presence and a personal page and a biz page. You kind of have to learn to draw that line between what's business and what's personal. And I think that I had difficulty with that. So I made the choice, I think it was like last week or so, that if there was somebody that I didn't like them enough, or I didn't like that vibe or whatever, like I just didn't resonate enough that I had to unfollow them, then I should unfriend them. Like, we have no reason. Like, there's no reason. Like, hurt your feelings. It doesn't matter. Like, it's your page, right? I'm not thinking about their needs and what they want. And as a sensitive and an empath and an intuitive, it's so easy to think about what everybody else wants as a priority and think about their needs, right? So I don't want to hurt their feelings. They don't even notice. They have like 5,000 friends because they're like spamming all of Facebook trying to have as many friends as possible. And who knows how many genuine connections are being made. It's not about them. It's about my energy. It's about your energy. So that's the big takeaway here, is that you don't have to be friends, Facebook friends, Twitter friends, whatever friends, with people that you genuinely don't get along with, you genuinely don't resonate with. And it's better to cut the cords, cut the ties, cut off the energy. And you can even, if you don't want to be perceived in a certain way, you can send a message and say, hey, I'm cleaning up my friends list. You know, I don't really know who you are. Don't know what you do. If you want to have a connection, like, I'm happy to stay friends, but I'm not really feeling that vibe, that we're really like a good match for each other. Like, there is nothing wrong with that. And so because this group was pretty small and I wasn't, promoting a lot in this group or talking or sharing, you know, live content, there were a couple of new people to my community that joined this group. And you guys know who you are. And so I sent you friend requests, and I also sent you private messages saying, hey, you know, you're in my group. I'm not really posting, but I want to get to know you. I want to get to know your business more. I didn't try to sell them anything. You know, there was maybe a brief discussion of my services, but I didn't invite them to get on a strategy call, no pitch. Just like, hey, let's be friends. So the connection always comes before the sale. You can write that down. The connection always comes before the sale. I would rather have, people that I am empowering them and they feel good. And when they're ready to make that leap and step into the unknown and invest and come on the journey with them, like I want them to be empowered through the process. But to be salesy or spammy, it just doesn't work for us. It does not work for us energy people and us sensitives and high frequencies. It doesn't. So if you're doing it, and your chances are you're not getting the sales either, okay? So that was a mistake that I made. So it's never too late to go and just clean up your friends list and really look at the people that you're keeping around. If you don't really get along with them, you don't really like them, you could send a message and let them know why you're doing it. If you don't want to hurt feelings because you are empathic, that's fine. If you have questions about it, comment on the post here on the video and let me know, and I can help you with the process, because you may feel a little uncomfortable to do it, but it's not going to hurt your business. Remember, there's billions of people on the planet, and if you're constantly aligning to the wrong energy and the misaligned energy of attracting your ideal clients, you're going to end up frustrated. So we want to really create that tight energetic field of who the ideal people are. Okay. And so the last point of the title here were the momentum builders. And this was a huge momentum builder for me. So when I cleaned up my Facebook page and I refollowed everyone. Okay. So I think I called my friends list by like 95 people. I'm like, cause I'm a numbers girl. Like I'm a dork about numbers. Like if you ever work with me privately and we like get into your business, my clients can tell you like I am insane when it comes to the numbers and the strategy of like I'm nuts. Okay. So for me, it's not about like ego. It's more about the frequency of the number. So anyway, my huge momentum builder was that because I had refollowed people that I hadn't been connecting with, all of a sudden I started commenting on more people's posts and liking more posts, and not to be promoting, not to promote my business, but just to be genuinely supportive of their lives and their business. And so I started to build genuine connection in that way. And I started to notice that putting people first and just coming out and being overall more supportive and more loving and leaving positive comments and just like putting that energy into the world was ultimately going to help my energy field, because like your energy field is sort of like, you can compare it to a bank account, where when you're like adding deposits of love, of like putting a vibe about love and a vibe of support, and I'm kind of a cheerleader, so putting a vibe of cheerleading out into the world and just being of genuine service, that's only going to like enhance my energetic field for whatever I'm doing in my business. So this energetic momentum strategy really works on Facebook. And, most of the people I'm commenting, like, I don't even know who they are. They're my friends, but I don't know who they are. I know who they are, but I'm not trying to like build my business by liking somebody's post about they're selling their house or whatever, right? It's just building connection and building energy and momentum and really, creating that vibe for myself online. So I'll just wrap up here with that. Being online with your marketing and with your presence is really no different than your human connections. It's just that you're really more energetic with your business. Like online requires way more energy sensitivity, especially if you are in the healing and the spiritual arts or, coaching industry. It requires way more sensitivity and like nuance and intuition and more contemplation before you move and take action. And like it requires way more synchronicity as well. So a lot more like patience, developing patience and that skill and that love for yourself and love for your business. So you can really think about that's where your strength is with your high frequency and with your energy work and your desire to bring change. Like energy is your strength. So let's stop focusing on that hard energy and that hard kind of stuff and really tune into what your unique individuality is. And I'm telling you, watch it skyrocket and with so much more ease. Like, I've met women where their highest income months, their 5K, their 10K, literally like broke them energetically, only to find themselves plummeting after. So you're going to find that your income is going to steadily grow and grow each month, and it's going to continue to grow because you are in this space where you can really energetically handle more money and more clients and more customers and all of that. And that's also what I teach on Shine Online, is about how to build up your systems and create your marketing strategy so that you can have freedom if you do have all online or online and in-person mix, and you want to travel more but still like come home to have a full booking of clients. Or I support creatives and musicians to have a whole season of gigs waiting for you. Like, all of this that I teach, you will have the success that you desire to have, and have it like within a year. It will be there for you. So when we really believe in ourselves and our confidence and our abilities to create our desired lifestyles, that's when we can have it. And when we take the actions that energetically match those desires, miracles happen. Okay, so it has been such a great honor to share this live with you. It has been really, really long. This is my longest live in a while. And I'm going to come back and watch it because there were a lot of downloads and insights and intuitions that were coming through that I wasn't expecting. And I channel a lot on my live streams, especially when I'm in like my safe space, like my group here. Okay, so I love you guys so much. And it's an honor to share the Infinitely Empowered community with you. And, whenever you need something, just feel free to make a post in the group. And you're always welcome to come and post a video, 3 to 5, 10 minutes of your own content, and, share with us about who you are in your own journey. Okay, until then, bye next time. Bye.